Hey guys, my name is Robert Strada. I'm going to tell you exactly why you should be proud to be in sales. My name is Robert Strada. I've made over 100,000 cold calls. I work for Cardone, an elite sales team. Done door-to-door, roofing, solar. I've actually been shot at 9 times while doing door-to-door, which made me go back to going into this. I've had my own company while I was active duty military, while I transitioned, by the way. And I did calling while I was in the military in between shifts for my company. Successfully got a lot of revenue that way. And this company has been this industry has been nothing but a blessing to me. So at the end of this, you will have pride in what you do. And my goal is to sell you and why you should do it. So number one, you are responsible for a company's growth. All right. You are the reasoning why they are growing. You are the number one revenue driver. Everybody's important. I get it. Okay. But let's just be real. Customer service, admin, all these people, look, they're not as important. They're not as important. I gotta call it out. I love the cute girls in HR. Trust me, I do. There's a reason I'm not in corporate anymore. Okay, let's just leave it there. But data salespeople are the most important. Number two, you are recession proof. You have a skill set that is never going to leave you. It doesn't matter if it is winter. It does not matter if it's seasonal. It is not seasonal. I could sell anytime, anywhere, on a Saturday, on a Sunday, for any company that I want. That's pretty much about it. So, because I have a skill set, I have taken time to develop that. Okay? It's okay, you can come. That's what editing is for. I love you. Which combines with number 3, which is that you are always in demand. With that skill set, every company wants you. Dude, they're hiring people left and right. Oh, you're a 1099? I don't need to pay you unless you produce money. Like, let's go. Okay? And you're making more money than anybody else anyway, which is amazing. So, number 4, sales is the purest form of personal responsibility. If you don't produce, you don't earn. You are earning and you're learning. You get paid for what you produce, not for showing up. Your work ethic is your income. That is it. The harder you work and the more intelligent you are and the more strategic that you are, the more money you make. It is really that simple. It's so beautiful that way. In fact, it's surprising that it's so sleazy, because I think what really is sleazy is when people, and you look at average statistics of how much the American works every day, they probably work about 4 hours every day, if that, maybe 3 hours of actual work, and an 8 to 9 hour work day, if that, right? Or rest of the time they're playing on their phone, doing whatever. Sales guys, like you produce or you're out. It's pretty simple. Number 5, sales gives you elite level human skills. I literally want to list them all out so I don't forget. I mean, you learn skills 99% of the world never develops, and they don't understand. Leadership, influence, emotional intelligence, negotiation, communication, frame control, confidence, persuasion, reading people, adaptability, high pressure decision making, not to mention that it also helps out in every single relationship you have in your entire life. Okay? I don't know what the divorce rate is. I'm not even going to look it up. I really don't care. But divorces are pretty prominent in America. Was it like at least half of all marriages end in divorce? Do you think if you're not able to communicate with your wife properly, do you think that that would not help you with your marriage? Kids, I mean, like, I'm doing this for a higher purpose. God's gift, God's purpose for me on earth is to be a leader of leaders. Not just a leader, but a leader of leaders. And kids today are screwed, okay? I'm not going to get into it, but TikTok and Instagram and all that stuff, and even YouTube, right, unfortunately, is messing them up. So if you're able to talk to your kids and you're able to communicate, hey, look, don't hang out with those people. You can tell them why it's not important. You can have a conversation and sell them on it. Sell them on why that's silly. Why are you smoking that green stuff? That's not good for you. Tell me why. Tell me who got that. Tell me who got you into that. Tell me who gave it to you. Right? Like, you need to be able to communicate with your kids. Okay? Number 7, salespeople are builders. Okay? If you're going to look at every business you see, Apple, Tesla, Amazon, real estate, solar companies, roofing companies, SaaS startups, they all started because somebody sold first. They are salesmen. Steve Jobs was not the guy who made Apple so amazing, okay? As far as like inventing the products, right? He was simply a sales guy on stage selling to people on a vision. He sold people on his vision. That's what Steve Jobs did. Okay. Number 8, sales makes you immune to fear, right? If you could sell, you can get a job anywhere, by the way. But fear of talking to strangers, gone. Fear of rejection, gone. Fear of embarrassment, gone. Fear of conflict, gone. Sales is going to slowly destroy your fear by exposing you to it every single day. And that's personal evolution, by the way. So you have to challenge it every day. The fact of the matter is that fear is going to never go away. You can't expect it to 100% go away, but you can get rid of 90% of it. And you can make it so that way you have strategies and mental techniques, which I'll talk about in a second. So when fear comes up, you have these little things that you go to, like, okay, 6-second rule. I mean, I think that was in a movie or something, right? Oh, okay, I'm afraid to approach that girl, but I have a 5-second rule. If I see her, I got to approach her in 3 to 5 seconds. If I'm going to do cold calls, and I have been doing it for 5 years and it still sucks, because it is always going to suck. Newsflash, if you're getting into sales, cold calling is always going to suck. Sales is always going to suck. Which is the beauty of it. You have a mental technique to set a timer for 30 minutes. Once that happens, you have momentum. Now it's easy. Now your muscles are starting to kick in. The mental lubrication is coming on. Okay? Number 9, sales gives you freedom. If you could sell, you can get a job anywhere. You could survive any economy. You could start your own business. You travel. Everybody wants to travel, but they don't want to work hard. You can make money online. You could pivot industries. You could build a brand. You can negotiate your life. Everything in life is a negotiation. Everything in life is a negotiation. Chris Voss has a book called Never Split the Difference, all about negotiation. Heavily recommend you should read that. I'll put a link to that in the description. Selling is freedom. So freedom is something to be very proud of. You just have to recognize they give the most valuable skill set on earth. Arnold Schwarzenegger. I read Arnold Schwarzenegger's biography. It was like 600 pages, 600 plus, 650. And he's like, this is the reason why I am who I am. It's not because I'm an amazing movie actor, I'm an amazing bodybuilder, I'm an amazing politician or governor of California. No, he was able to sell himself better than anybody else. He was able to sell his movies. He was able to sell the movie Twins with Danny DeVito. That's why. And he says, Arnold Schwarzenegger, everybody's idol, says, quote by quotations, I am not paraphrasing, okay? I'm hoping I'm getting every single word right. I am first and foremost a salesman. Arnold Schwarzenegger, okay? Number 11, the 100 men build a church philosophy. So look, this is the way I think about it. Like, I'm gonna come at it from a semi-religious example standpoint. Let's say you have 100 men that are building a church, okay? They, in God's eyes, they are all, and I'm just getting religious for half a second, don't worry, okay? If they're all swinging the hammer, okay, they're all important. I get it. But who's more important? Is it the 100 men that are building the church? Or is it the one guy who's calling and getting the fundraising for that church? And marketing the church so that people go to it and we're not going bankrupt? And the person that's marketing it on Facebook so we continuously have traffic, right? The leader of the church. Like, who is more important? Like, let's just be real. It's not the people that are swinging the hammer. I'm sorry. It's the person that's organizing it. Number 12, you are learning new mental techniques that I use everywhere, every single day in sales. Look, it's like in life, you got to pick your heart. Life sucks, and then we're all going to die. It's great, right? So at the end of the day, you got to pick your heart. Life is going to suck either way, but there's a saying, and I don't know where it is. I know for a fact that I heard it from Hormozi, which is that you choose your hard, okay? When you do easy stuff, life is hard. When you do hard stuff, life is easy. And in every single area of life and avenue I've gone down, that seems to be exactly correct. And so you have daily growth, right? From getting those mental techniques. You can learn, like, okay, dude, like, I can actually handle this. I realized when I put myself in similar situations that I was in 2 years ago, 1 year ago, I don't get even remotely as stressed. It doesn't even cause me an inkling of the same anxiety as it used to, right? And that's another thing that'll never go away. Anxiety's never gonna go away 100%. Fears never go away 100%. But you find ways to mentally cope with it. And that's what this does. It gives you an opportunity. It's your battleground. You gotta love the fight. You gotta fall in love with the fight. Because that's what it is. Like, look, I'm not gonna be, this is not melodramatic with saying, like, this is the closest you're gonna get to a modern day warrior. Like, seriously. If you're coming in, you're battling somebody over a piece of paper. You are fighting somebody. This is war, okay? Now, something to keep in mind, okay? Like, your job, it's ethics. You are a leader. Like, this is what it is to be in sales. You need to be a leader, and you need to be ethical. You need to be transparent, and you need to be authentic. Transparency, honesty, authentic. You're fighting a stereotype, right? And I have not contributed well to it. I'll be 100% honest. I have not contributed well to the stereotype of salesmen being good people. I have argued with people. I have blown people out over the phone. I have hard sold people so hard that they bought and they're probably never going to talk to me again their entire life. I've been emotionally immature. I've texted like crazy things to people like, dude, who do you think you are? I've done all these things. I have made these mistakes and been that person, so I can now be like, hey, dude, like, this is something that the industry has blessed me with, giving me the opportunity to grow and to work with some amazing people and some amazing mentors. And it's like, I want to give back. I want to show people like, this is the opportunity to be an amazing human being, to grow into the person you want to be. Okay. So now, what if you say, hey, like, I get it, I'm proud of it, but I don't feel proud. I still don't feel proud. Completely understand where you're coming from. This is how you do it. So you need to obviously know your why. It's like whenever you hear know your why, you just kind of I just want to vomit in my mouth a little bit, but you need to know why you're in sales. What is so important to you? Write your goals down twice a day. Most people, you know, when they write their goals down, they write it down at the end of the year. They write it down on New Year's Day, and then that is it, and they revisit it. And the more you write them down, the more powerful you'll be. I remember Ed Milet taught me that, is that the more that you are tracking things, the faster you'll get to them. If you write your goals down every day, you'll get to them faster. I have my why, it's in that piece of paper right over there. I have vision boards. I'm always looking at that stuff. I need that juice. When burnout doesn't exist. Burnout happens when you don't remember your goals, okay? And you don't set standards as well. If I remember my goals every day, I'm constantly triggered in my mind, okay, great. Like, I could keep going. Like, I could push harder. I can grow, right? This is growth. Train daily. Pride comes from confidence. You gotta role play. Just cut the crap. Like, don't be lazy. What's really lazy is practicing on a customer. If you practice on a customer, you're gonna get like 3/4 less sales. You role play for 10 minutes before, you're saving yourself 10 times the amount of time in the long run, okay? Role play to get good. Number 3, surround yourself with killers. At the end of the day, like, you are who the 5 people you surround yourself with. We've probably heard that a million times. The best advice I ever heard, and one of my greatest stories, was when I had my marketing agency and I paid $10,000 to be in a coaching program, and I paid another $2,000 to go out to an event. And 2 of my mentors, okay, 2 great people, I don't know if I should say their whole names, but their names are Chris and Nick. Sales legends. I love these guys, and they have coached me and helped me out so much. And they cornered me, and they got drunk at this event. It was in Miami, and we're at a mansion that got rented out for the event, and I'm not drinking. And they cornered me, and they're like, "What are you doing with your life since you got out of the military? What's going on with SEO? What do you really want?" And I'm telling them, like, "Hey, look, I really want to get good at talking to people. I really suck. I mean, I just kind of like push people. I'm just pushing them, and I'm shoving, and I'm persistent. But like, there's no art to what I'm doing. I'm just pushing them." And they're like, "What do you want?" And they're like, "Why don't you earn while you learn?" And when I was in the Navy, I've always wanted to be the best of everything I've ever done. I was 300 pounds, and I lost 100 pounds in 6 months to join the Navy SEALs. I didn't make it, but I went through the whole process, and I got hurt and ripped my rotator cuff and broke my leg and tore my meniscus and did all this fun jazz in butts. But that's regardless. I've always wanted to do the best of the best. I'm like, okay, who's the best I can learn from? Hey, Grant Cardone. So and again, I'm going story time right now on you, okay? So I had no money, and I borrowed $500 from my mother, which I have so much pride and ego in it. Oh, it hurt. It hurt. And I flew out to Scottsdale, Arizona, for a job interview with 30 other people that were interviewing for Grant Cardone's sales team, and me and only 3 other people made it, and only me and one other guy were there after 6 months, where the average tenure is 1 to 2 months at that company. So like, I go all in, you know what I mean? So with all number 4, you need to track your wins. So yeah, I mean, if you are not actually measuring how good you're doing, if you don't measure success, you're not gonna be able to repeat it. You need to understand what good are you doing. Hey, I'm making 100 calls a day. Something that Alex Hormozi taught me is if I just do an unreasonable amount of output, I'm doing an amount of output that it's unreasonable to not be successful. Okay, you need to track your wins. Hey, I got 5 wins. I can't measure myself against somebody that's been doing this for 10 years. Like, I need to understand that I'm improving. And you need to review this. You got to review this video. Watch it twice. Watch it once a week if you got to. Okay? I'm not trying to like build myself up, but look, I'm pretty good at selling myself on how to keep doing this. I've worked very hard. I've sold myself enough to work harder than most other people. Not saying I'm the best. I'm not the best salesman. I'm not the best closer. I am not the best cold caller. And I have worked with them. These guys are legends, but I'm really good at selling myself to keep working. All right? So review this, or review your why statement, right? Continuously I sell myself daily. Written right there. Every day I sell myself. Why am I selling this product? Why am I doing this? That's the first sale and the most important sale. I got to sell myself, and that was taught to me by Grant Cardone. So thank you so much to my mentors. Hey guys, we're making a whole series. I'm trying to make a whole collection right here. So if this video was valuable, watch this one as well. And again, thank you to my mentors. I'd be nothing without you. I appreciate the heck out of you. Make sure to like and subscribe and leave a comment. I will reply to those comments.